Hey paper lovers! Welcome back to my channel. It's Bess from Lightsplinter Interaction, and I am here to do another memory keeping spread in my B6 size junk journal. This is a junk journal I just started for 2025, and I am filling in the pages as I go, but not in any particular order. You'll see I am not going chronological here. I'm really just going with what page inspires me at the time. So for this video, we are going to be memory keeping last weekend, which was my birthday celebration in Boston. Happy belated birthday to me. I am actually a December baby, so this was my 2024 birthday that we're celebrating in 2025 because it's rough being a December baby. Christmas just makes it really tough, especially with owning a retail business. I work a lot of weekends, so celebrating my birthday in December actually wasn't possible this year. So instead we celebrated in February, and we ended up having this really fun snowy adventure. So that is what I am memory keeping here, and we are starting off with two identical pages. One is in the white paper, and obviously the other one is in blackout, but they are identical patterns. These are both from my junk journal series, and I am combining them wherever it seems clever. So for this, because I've got a before and after shot, this is the view from our room. Yes, we did have a seaport view. We were in Seaport District of Boston, so those are the docks. And it's the before and after in the snow. So I did the before photo on the white paper and the after the snow on the dark paper, because I think it looks like a snowstorm literally blowing through on the blackout paper. You can see like the white and silver lines really do kind of streak like snow. So I am just putting these both side by side, so it's going to give that real before and after fun effect. And I think this is going to tell a whole bunch of story without saying a whole lot. And honestly, friends, that is one of my hacks for memory keeping, is you don't have to write a lot. You don't have to say all that much. Photos tell a lot of story. Speaking of storytelling, maps are another great way to really enhance the story that you want to tell in your memory keeper or journal. So if you are staying somewhere that has tour guides or maps that you can grab at the hotel lobby, this was literally available right when we checked in, that has a map of the place you're staying, you can cut that out and add it to your memory keeper for some really fun effect, and adding a whole bunch more context to the place that you actually were at. So I'm trimming this down just to where we were. Where that star is where we were actually staying. If you look directly above and to the left of the star, that's the photo I took, essentially. So I'm going to add this to my memory keeper along with the logo for the Hyatt that we stayed at. Normally when my friends and I go to Boston, because we do actually go to Boston every year for my birthday, we normally stay at a different hotel. So this is our first time staying at the Hyatt, and we had a lovely time. Shout out Hyatt. And so I am going to do a little bit of memory keeping here and just highlight that we had such a nice stay at this hotel room. This is one of the first times we've ever actually had a nice view, so we were feeling very deluxe. Now on screen, what I am doing is I am adding just some visual interest to the map and trying to tie it all into the page on the other side. So I'm using scraps from what I cut off of the blackout pattern page, and I'm just framing the photo on the top and bottom with a piece of scrap here. And this is just trying to tie the two pages together so that they look like they're telling the same story. And because I know someone's going to ask, this is just a generic glue pen that I got on Amazon. I honestly wouldn't recommend it. It's not the best. They run out really fast. If I have to recommend any glue to you, it's going to be the Zig glue pens that you can get on jetpens.com. They are top notch. And if you ever come into Lightsplinter Action to one of my memory keeping classes, you will also find them here because I swear by them. They're my favorite product. I stand that one 10 toes deep. So as I said, this is our first time staying at the Hyatt, and I am going to give it 5 stars. I like, if I'm going somewhere, if I'm traveling somewhere, I like sometimes to rate it on a 5-star scale. They don't always get 5 stars, but I do think it's fun to add that little detail into your your memory keeper. So that is what I'm doing here. I'm giving it 5 stars. And then I'm just going to do a bit of journaling to really capture all the other details that maybe aren't being told through these photos. Our first time staying at this hotel, and we got an actual view. Plus, a queen bed with a pull-out couch made it so easy to move around and get ready. Arrived to clear streets and cloudy skies, left on blue skies and snow-covered streets. And that's really all I have to say about that. So since I have this space at the bottom, I am going to go back to my scrap paper, and voila, I have the perfect size piece of scrap paper left that I'm just going to trim off the hole punches on and glue this down nice and tight to fill up that space so it doesn't look like I didn't have anything else to say. Now, because I am doing this memory keeper out of order, I do need to be really careful to make sure that every single spread that I put in here has a date on it. I don't usually date all my journal entries, but this time it's very important for this exercise. So what I'm doing here is I am cutting out a black date placard for the white side and a white date placard for the black side because, I love a little inverse moment. And I'm just going to write the dates since one photo was taken on a Saturday and the following photo is taken on a Sunday. I can actually put 2 dates down for this spread. And yes, I do realize the chaos of going out of order in a journal, but I'm really trying to lean into the chaos of a junk journal in and of itself. There is no rule here. I can do whatever I want. So as long as I make sure to date these pages, at some point I could add some sort of system so that I could go through my journal in a chronological way. But honestly, I love the idea of it just being one memory after the next, because when we look back on our years, on our lives, we can't always put them into chronological order. A lot of times it is kind of just all thrown in there together. So I kind of like that this journal is going to reflect how my brain actually remembers things. Okay, she cute. We love this spread. As I said, it tells a whole lot without saying very much. Yes, we love a before and after shot. So, okay, let's go on to our next adventure. We went for bagels in the snow. If you can believe it or not, we trekked our booties over to a place called Pop-Up Bagels, and we got bagels that were so fresh. The steam from the bagels were permeating in the air in the bakery that we went into. So cute. Obsessed. Delicious bagels. Highly recommend. Anywho, if you've been following me or my channel for a while, you know that everything is ephemera, and bags are included. Bags are often a really great way to gather extra detail from the businesses that you go to while you are out and about. So I love this bag. Not only has a really cute logo on it, and I did have to, take my time to peel off the backing and the handle from their logo. Then I cut around all of the lettering to make it look like this fun logo that I'm going to add to the spread. And I also cut out their tagline, not famous, but known. I thought that was, first off, a really great tagline, but also going to make for some great detail on this page. Now, this is a tiny hole-in-the-wall little bakery. There's barely even standing room when you get there, but it was packed and people were waiting to get in, so you knew it was going to be a good experience. They also have specialty cream cheeses, and I was lucky enough to be there on a Cheez-It cream cheese week. Yes, it was as good as it sounds. So you're going to see all of that detail coming together for this spread. So I am going to just fuss around and see how I can best incorporate these elements. A lot of times when things are too big, for example, the tagline is too wide for the page, I will cut it in half and stack it on top and make it look almost kind of ransom note-ish. And with the craft paper feel of the brown bag, it's actually kind of perfect and fitting for exactly what we're doing here in this spread. Now, as a self-proclaimed foodie, I do have one stance that I swear is it's a truth that you can find no matter where you are traveling to. And that is, the smaller the menu, the better the food is going to be. And so this bagel shop had, I think, 5 options of bagels, and that was it. But guys, they were the best bagels. You also couldn't buy them in singles. The smallest set that you could buy was a 3-pack. So I got 3 plain bagels and a container of the Cheez-It cream cheese. And I wanted to do something fun to celebrate this fun little pop-up bagels place. And so I'm thinking about that pop-up name and how can I add a pop-up or some sort of interactive element. And it hit me. A hidden door. I love a photo reveal moment. It is so fun to hide something behind another piece of paper so that you actually have to interact with the spread to see what is behind the paper. And so that is exactly what I'm going to do here. I'm going to put one of these photos behind the rest of this brown paper bag, and you're going to have to physically open the door to see what is behind it. So I'm just going to use my photo as a template, and I'm going to cut 3 sides. Don't cut that 4th side. That's very important. That 4th side is going to be the hinge on your little door. So make sure you're just cutting the 3 sides that you actually want to move. And if you are going to be like me and recklessly cut in your planner without a cutting mat, just make sure that you're not cutting too hard and going through the paper below it. I have gotten really good at knowing how much weight to press against the X-Acto knife without going through the paper. So that is a skill I have built up over years. I wouldn't recommend doing that. Get yourself a cutting mat at the dollar store. They're actually not that expensive, but here you're just going to see me doing it recklessly because I have no chill. Okay, we are going to put the cream cheese behind the door, and I'm also going to use their tagline to frame this hidden moment. So we've got not famous, but known, the Cheez-It cream cheese behind it, and let's just glue it all down so we can put this together. Seriously, so good. I love a door moment. Okay, so for the other side, we still have to do some journaling. I haven't written anything in this spread, and the pattern is pretty busy, let's be honest. So I'm going to use the back of an old calendar page. This is last year's calendar. I don't throw anything away, so I'm just going to use the back of it as scrap paper, and we're going to just glue this down so that I have a place to write against. It would be impossible to write on top of those X's, although they are really fun for this spread. I do need some space to journal because I do have a couple things I want to write down and say about our experience with pop-up bagels. So I'm just going to mark where the photo is going to sit so that I can take my paper off of the planner and put it onto my desk where I find it easiest to write. And I'm going to be using an extra broad tip on my Calico fountain pen. Don't ask me what ink I'm using. That I couldn't remember off the top of my head, but I did at least remember the brand of fountain pen, which is something. And I am just going to journal about our journey to get bagels. And I'm just going to use those little dots that I add as marks for where I shouldn't write, because that's where the photo is going to sit. And I'm going to glue the photo right on top of the dots, so you're not even going to see those dots once I get the full thing down. Waited for the snow to let up, and then walked over to one of the Seaport District's newest spots to eat. We ate one fresh out the oven before taking the rest back to our hotel. Cheez-It cream cheese was fantastic. I'm just gluing this all down so that it doesn't go anywhere, and we are going to finish this spread off by giving it the once over and seeing if there's anything missing. And I gotta be honest, when I'm looking at it right off the top of my head, I know I want to put something on that door. It's kind of plain compared to the rest of the spread. So let's see how it would look if I used a brown mild liner on top of the brown paper. Could I get a understated but still fun effect? Yes, I can. So I am going to letter onto the brown paper bag the words hot and fresh out the kitchen, because they absolutely were, and they were delicious. And I think that's a funny way to kind of insinuate what is right behind this picture. Even though it's not a picture of the bagels, which were fresh out the kitchen, the cream cheese was fresh out the refrigerator. But that's not the point, friends. The point is this spread is so gosh darn cute. And there's a pop-up element. You get to pop that door open and look behind it and see, the really great cream cheese that I honestly wish I had bought more of so that I could store it for later, because all of their stuff is limited in quantity. Now, I did realize at the end of this that I had forgotten to add the date, and we already discussed how important it is for me to be dating things. So I'm just going to use a little bit more of that brown paper bag, cut a little scrap piece, and add the date here so that I don't forget on what day this actually happened. And seriously, I am just loving this junk journal as a whole. As I've mentioned, we are going out of order. Here are just some of the other spreads that I have done so far. In no particular order, this one happened on February 2nd. It was a wicked date that I did with my nephew. We had a really good time together. And then this next one was an adventure to H Mart, and I used, again, the brown paper bag to tell some stories. We have a sunset that I was able to capture, along with my first trip to the Paper Mouse. You can see the brown paper bag is honestly a trend. If a place has some sort of logo on some sort of paper product, be it a bag, a napkin, a business card, I'm probably going to grab it on the way out. I did a spread for the end of TikTok. Of course, we have our spread for pop-up bagels. We've got our spread from the Hyatt Place with our before and after photos. And then at the end here, I just have one more page of journaling that has to do with someone falling down and then the place immediately putting up penguin falling down signs. Just too funny. Honestly, if you want to know more about that, you should be on my Discord channel, because that's where it's shared. But that is it for me. I hope this was helpful for you guys. I hope you are enjoying my Plan With Me and Memory Keep With Me series. If you like it, make sure to give it the like and share it and subscribe and do all the things so you can make sure that you stay up to date with all things LPA. I will catch you guys later. Stay light, stay bright, and stay crafting.